For those of you watching replay, we are diving straight into it tonight. So I invite you to place one hand on your heart space and one hand on your lower belly. So just below the belly button, somewhere between the belly button and the top of the pubic bone. So it's like this. Us women have got this fabulous natural tire often that points that area out to us. It's our gorgeous cauldron of energy that lives there. And from a Reiki perspective, this really is seen like a cauldron. It's our horror space. It's where that energy initially congregates and creates a really stable and grounded base. And we work with this area in like martial arts as well, because when we're strong in this horror space, then we're strong in life. People struggle to push someone over when they're grounded in this area. We're less thrown around by life. And as and when you feel ready, if you feel ready, I invite you to gently close your eyes and just bring your awareness to that gentle rise and fall of the belly. And as you begin to notice the breath, you might realize that you've been breathing a little bit too shallow today. And you might feel called to take in a nice deep breath. And perhaps on the exhale, releasing any tension, any stress that's being held in the body with a bit of a sigh. And you can do that again if that feels good to you. Nice deep breath in. And letting go of any tightness, any worries, with a bit of a sigh. And finally, just one more deep breath in. And this time, see if you can just fill up every inch of your lungs, of your diaphragm, filling them right to the top. Maybe even allowing your shoulders to come up to your ears as you hold this breath in. And then as you exhale, allow that shoulder area to drop. And for those of you that are Reiki trained, I invite you now to call in Reiki, any guides that you work with or ascended masters. Or perhaps you work with deities or gurus. And we ask that this session work for our highest good and the good of all. And if you have a personal intention for this evening, of course you can set that for yourself now as well. And I invite you to imagine that coming down from the crown space, coming in through the top of your head, you can feel, see, imagine, sense beautiful Reiki energy, healing energy, entering that crown space, softening, relaxing, releasing any tension as it moves down through the face, through the neck, through the shoulders, through the arms, into the hands. And allow that Reiki energy to move through the chest space, relaxing and soothing as it goes. Moving through the middle of the body. Nurturing your system from the inside out. Moving down into the hips, the legs, the knees, and moving into the ankles and feet. And just noticing if there's anywhere for you that feels like it needs a little bit more of that energy. And just allow it to congregate in that area that you need, using nothing more than your intention. And those of you that are Reiki trained, you can invite in the symbols that you need here. If you feel an emotional block, you can use Seiheki. Or if it feels more physical in nature, then Choku-rei might be more appropriate. Use your intuition. Or perhaps you're feeling called to use the master symbol. And I invite you now to notice that energy that is moving through into the crown of the head, all the way down the body, is changing in quality. So the soft, nurturing energy has soothed where it needs to soothe. And we're bringing in that divine masculine energy now, which is refueling us, adding us, giving us back our fire. Notice as that energy moves through the crown of the head, awakening the mind, invigorating the muscles. Notice how you feel that invigoration move from the crown of the head, through the face, through the mind, through the neck. That invigorating energy is moving into the arms and the hands, through the chest, and the middle of the body. allow this energy to wake up the muscles around your hips, and into the muscles of your legs. And allow that invigorating energy to move into your knees, your lower legs, your ankles and feet. And as before, noticing if there's anywhere in the body that requires this energy a little bit more. And use your intention to direct the energy there. And allow it to wake it up, invigorate, bring back that fire. And you can allow your hands to relax now, perhaps onto your knees or however is comfortable for you. And I'm going to guide you on a little journey. And I invite you to imagine in your mind's eye, and however you imagine is perfectly perfect. So whether you sense, you have a feeling, maybe you hear it, maybe you see it. It doesn't matter, they're all the same. But I invite you to imagine in your mind's eye that you are walking through the most beautiful forest. And you can hear the birds are chirping high up in the treetops. The sun is shining through the leaves, creating this beautiful pattern on the path in front of you. And you can smell that mossy earth, that damp earth. And the smell of the leaves mixing with that mud on the ground. And as you look up ahead, you can see that this path is lined with flowers. And these flowers represent the intentions you're taking into this year. But before we move too far forward on this path, we're going to take a moment to just look backwards. And I invite you to notice that as you look backwards, you realize you're carrying a bag with you. And inside of that bag is everything that you've picked up from last year. Inside is many treasures. There's the lessons that you've learned, the things that you've achieved, the things that went right, even when they didn't feel like they were going right at the time. But you also notice there's things in the bag that you actually no longer need. And they're feeling quite heavy on your shoulders. I invite you to see if you can reach inside the bag and take out one of those things now. take a moment to notice what it is that you have grabbed. And I invite you to notice what this symbolizes for you. And it's up to you at this point whether you choose to put this thing back in the bag or leave it on the side of the path. Has this thing served its purpose? Have you been carrying it around long enough? Will it bring anything to your future? And as and when you feel ready, you can reach inside that bag and take another thing. And again, examine it. What is it? What does it symbolize for you? And again, considering, is this something I want to keep carrying with me? Is this going to help me on my journey ahead? And I'm going to give you a minute because you can do this as many times as feels right for you. Keep reaching into that bag and taking out what you no longer need, what you're no longer willing to carry, taking out that which you don't need on the path going forward. What can you leave behind? What is going to lighten your load? What is going to give you more space, more energy to continue walking on this path? And now I invite you to turn back around and look at the path ahead in front of you and all of those beautiful flowers on either side. And I invite you to start walking along this path now, noticing which flowers stand out to you. What do these flowers symbolize for you? And as and when you see a flower that you cannot leave behind, in this realm you're allowed to pick the flowers. You're allowed to take them with you. So I invite you to pick those ones now that really call out to you, that speak to your soul, that feel like they need to be in your journey going forward. And if you get distracted by anything else on this path, that's fine. Pay attention to that. But also remember to pick your flowers as you go. Noticing what colours you're drawn to. What perfume do these flowers have? And I invite you now, as and when you feel ready, to slowly open your eyes and pick up your journal and pen. I say as I've left mine behind me. And I invite you to start journaling on the question of what are the flowers I want to take into 2025. What are those things? What are my intentions? Who do I want to be? What do I want to have? What do I want to experience? Who do I want in my little world? Who do I want to spend more time with? I'm going to give you a minute to do that while I grab my journal. I'm going to be journaling along with you. And I invite you to notice the language that you use as you write your intentions. Where possible, write it as if it's already happened, or with a sense of certainty. So this is what's going to happen this year. This is how the year is going to unfold to the best of our knowledge. And you may want to include in there, how are you going to navigate those turbulent times that are present in every year, every life, right? How do you want to navigate those? And I invite you to see if you can condense all of that down into just 3 words. Just 3 words, your intentions for this year. And what I would propose or invite is that we use those intentions as part of we'll pop them into our collective Reiki box. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a minute. But for now, just 3 words. 3 words that summarize your intentions for this year. Travel down with me. In the dark you learn to see. Cradle by the earth. This is your dream. All you ever thought you were, not taken by the fire. Naked in a brand new world. Who are you? What do you desire? Go gentle, go slow. Tasting life for the very first time. Go gentle, go slow. Tasting life for the very first time. I won't lie, I've cheated. One of my words has got 2 words in it, so that's okay, right? That's okay. Okay. For those of you that don't have a Reiki box, does anyone else use a Reiki box? I would love to know. Jackie, you do, lovely, fabulous. Claire, do you use a Reiki box? No? Okay. I'm going to presume some of you won't know what a Reiki box is because you haven't been trained in Reiki, so why would you? But bear with me, I'll grab mine. So, this is my little Reiki box. And in here, and it's empty at the moment, which is like really unusual, but I had to clear out with my intentions from 2024, and I thought I'm not going to put my new ones in until I've been with you lovely ladies. So what I do with this is bear with me, someone's trying to join and I'm just conscious they're midway through. There we go. So this Reiki box, in here I will place the names of anyone who's asked for healing, the names of anyone in, that can be friends, that can be family, that can be a particular world situation. So for example, the war in Ukraine or what's happening in Gaza, these circumstances can go in your Reiki box. But also what can go in there is your intentions for the year. And then as part of your Reiki practice, not everyone practices Reiki daily, but perhaps when you do practice Reiki, taking time to connect with that Reiki energy and infusing your intentions with that energy. For those of you that don't practice Reiki, haven't had Reiki training, I would still highly recommend writing out your intentions and placing them in a little box, if you would like, and taking a moment every day, if you can. I say every day. Once a week is fine. And just connect into the energy of your intentions. So what I mean by that is, if it's already done, if you're already doing it, how does it feel in your nervous system? How does it feel in your body? How does it feel in the mind? How does it feel in the emotions? And allow yourself to bring forth that energy within you now. These intentions are already done. And you can place a hand on your little box of intentions. Or if you don't have a box, on your piece of paper with your intentions. And I invite you to just do that with me now, connecting to that energy of your intentions already happening. How does that feel? Has that changed how you view yourself? Has it changed how you view others or the world? What emotions feel present in the body, knowing this is already happening? And for those of you that are Reiki trained, you can allow that energy to flow into those intentions through your hand, onto your paper or onto the box, if you have put your intentions inside. And take a moment to really enjoy this feeling. What a gorgeous year this 2025 is working out to be. And again, those of you that work with guides, you can invite them to come in and support this intention as you bring it into fruition this year. And allow yourself to really enjoy the experience. Of experiencing it already done. You may even imagine how you made it a reality. What were the things you did to get here? And I invite you to plant this certainty. Allow that certainty to be in your heart space as you navigate this year. The certainty that your intentions will manifest. And when that certainty feels like it's moved into every cell of your being, when you're excited for the year ahead and all it will include, when that energy within you feels like just what you need, then I invite you to, as and when you feel ready, slowly open your eyes and see if you can bring that energy with you. And you may even want to say a little thank you, thank you, thank you to the universe or a particular deity, a guide for helping you with this thing. And really notice that gratitude of feeling so supported, of knowing you're being taken care of. And at this point, I'm going to stop the recording because I want to open up the space in case anyone would like to share. Goodbye to those of you watching on replay.